If you love Penticton, but you feel like a few things could be way better, this video is for you. I am ranking the top 10 issues people in Penticton actually care about. And for each one, I'm going to share some simple fixes that we can do locally without waiting for any level of government to save us. If your issue doesn't make the list, please drop it in the comments. I'm going to read every single one. Hey guys, my name is Jordan West. I'm a former BC ambulance paramedic turned business builder. I've started 8 brands, 2 agencies, a software company, a restaurant, and more. I live in Penticton, the best city in the world, and I am obsessed with making it better. Let's go. A little bit of context, guys. We are spoiled. 2 lakes, a compact city, wine country, sports culture, and now a 6-kilometer protected lake-to-lake bike route connecting Okanagan Lake to Skaha Lake. But growth brings growing pains. We have housing pressure. We have downtown safety concerns. We have drought summers. We have a very seasonal economy. And just so you guys know, I am talking about this in a bunch of different videos, so please make sure to go and subscribe. If you are a Pentictonite like me and you want to know sort of what I'm seeing in the city, I'm doing this because I absolutely love it. So let's get into the top 10 big issues going on in Penticton right now. Number 10, parking and summer congestion. Beach days and event weekends absolutely slam our parking. The fix is not yelling at tourists. It's smarter flow. We need to try dynamic pricing closest to the waterfront and cheaper park once zones that are a short walk away, right? We need to pair that with a sponsored back summer shuttle looping Peach, Skaha, downtown with live ETAs. And we can do that right now. We know that the technology out there exists that we can make our city movable during those crazy times. During Peach Fest, it's said that there's up to 80,000 extra people in our city. Then let's make our parking once actually worth it when people are actually parking. Also, talk about stamps and discounts at downtown shops for people to actually go and check out some of those downtown shops. So this is a low drama, high impact idea. Now, number 9, one of the big issues is airport connectivity. YYF is our airport and our lifeline. Now, luckily, Pacific Coastal runs the Vancouver link with a beefed up summer schedule, and WestJet connects us to Calgary seasonally. Now, what I would love to do is organize a business coalition to pre-commit to shoulder and off-season seats, publishing a simple load factor dashboard, and coordinating shuttles up to Kelowna on peak days, right? Reliable air is a talent and tourism absolute magnet. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more in an entire video in the future. Let me know if that's something important to you. I will look at the comments here to see what is important to you guys of what we want to talk about here, but these are the top 10 really big issues. Now, this is another one. If you are a business owner or potentially you've tried to get a full-time job here, you will know that the year-round economy and small business health is a really big issue. We absolutely boom in the summer, right? I think the summer right now is our hotspot. No pun intended. Pun intended. We boom in the summer and then we fade in the shoulders, right? Guys, losing Ironman in 2025 absolutely stings. Let me tell you, that was a really big issue for me when I found out that we had lost Ironman. I think it was in 2024 when we found out. It was a really big issue, right? Fewer heads and beds and less global attention. And that's one of the really big things that Ironman helped bring us. So let's build our own anchors, right? More youth sports tournaments, culinary weeks, a downtown passport that turns locals into regulars around here. The downtown Penticton BIA already represents 700 businesses somewhere around there. We can rally them around repeatable shoulder season events. And I know that we can do this. Again, this is something that I have a lot of experience in, is rallying people together around ideas like this. Now, number 7, one of the big issues that people are facing is youth, family, and childcare. Families need more safe spaces on Fridays and Saturday nights. I'd extend rec and field hours. Launch a low-cost teen pass into places. And I know that we already have some of that, but I think that we need to make it more accessible for people and actually help people understand what we have in Penticton. Setting up a safe content studio at the community center so that kids can learn cameras, editing, podcasting, AI, all of these things. Kids are going to learn at some point. We might as well help them learn in a better way. pairing that with small grant writing teams to help providers expand licensed childcare. We keep families here by making weeknights and weekends awesome. In Penticton, let me tell you, we need to have families here to keep our city vital. Number 6, one of the big issues here that people are talking about is water, drought, and lake health. Drought levels in Okanagan shift, and Penticton rolls out stage 1 seasonal water restrictions each May through August to stay ahead. With hotter, drier summers, the smartest play is to use less outdoors. Zero-scape rebates is a really big thing. Native yard demo blocks and a small cash grant for rain gardens along Penticton Creek. When the Okanagan moves to higher drought levels, we should get smart meter nudges by text so that households can curb usage fast. Now, this is something really big that I have seen in business, and it's this idea of psychological moonshots. And I won't get into like the whole thing behind it because you guys are probably like, oh, okay, I'm going to skip this video now. But the idea is people being able to understand what is going on as they are doing it, right? And so if we can get, the more that we can use technology to help us understand how we're doing, what we're doing. Maybe there's a water leak and we're able to get a notification when that water leak is happening because our usage is through the roof. All of this stuff will really help Penticton. This is a tough one here. Parks, beaches, and clean public spaces. This is one of the big issues that people are talking about when I'm looking at the big top 10 issues of Penticton right now and what people care about. It's this. It's clean, welcoming spaces that make everything else feel safer. The city already posts bylaw hours and has programs for needles, graffiti, and reporting issues. Let's use them and add monthly love your lakefront cleanup with gear and snacks. Let's quick remove micro grants for graffiti, turn tag walls into non-events, right? Want to add friendly park ambassadors on peak weekends so that the vibe stays family first. We know that the first impression is what people think about the city. And right now, let me tell you, and I'm probably going to talk about this a little bit later as well, when people drive in from highway number 3 and the first thing that they see is the Fairview encampment, that is not a city where people want to stay and where they feel safe. They just don't. And I'm sorry if that ruffles some feathers, but people don't feel safe when they see that. That makes the city look dirty, and this is not a dirty city. And so this is one of those things that I really believe in, that I think it's a really, really smart thing. Now, let's talk about number 4, getting around without fights. The lake to lake route is done. Most folks absolutely love it, and there are a select few that hate it. Both sides want safety and access. So my approach, more 15-minute loading bays off main so that deliveries and pickups work smoothly. We're talking about crystal clear snow clearing standards for these bike lanes because a lot of people don't even own vehicles. They just want to bike everywhere. And I think that Penticton can handle that. That is the beautiful thing about this city. Also, some slow street pilots is something that I've been thinking about as well, right around schools and seniors hubs, right? I think that it's a really practical idea for us in Penticton, but again, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, number 3, again, this is going to be a bit of a tough one here, and I'm sure I'm going to get some comments down below. Feel free, comment away. Gets the reach higher here on YouTube. Downtown safety and shoplifting. Let's talk about it. RCMP told council that shoplifting reports jumped from 394 in 2021 to 472 in 2022. Those are the metrics that I have. I know it has only gotten worse, hitting big grocers the hardest. For these small margins, it's brutal, guys. I understand as a business owner, one of the companies that I owned at one point was a small restaurant. Our margins were so thin. Most of the time I was actually painting houses on the side just to help keep that restaurant afloat. They cannot afford this. We can't have this safety and shoplifting issue downtown. We should be able to solve this, guys. We should be able to solve this. So the fix starts with a shared store-to-store radio network and standard loss prevention training. So this is one of the big things. And one of the big things that I've found in the companies that I've owned and ran over the years is that transparency and visibility and communication all together solve a lot of these issues. So if we could either have like radios is kind of old school, we could potentially have a WhatsApp group between them. But what we need to do is we need to understand where these things are happening, and we need to have RCMP on speed dial to be able to help this in our downtown. I walk into downtown all the time. I live just outside of the downtown core, and I walk into downtown. Sometimes I wonder how it is okay with the amount of people that are just hanging out, laying on a sidewalk. We know that a lot of this theft is happening because we just let it happen. And I just don't think that it's okay. So let's get into issue number 2. And I hope everyone knows I really care. I was a paramedic for 12 years, and the unhoused population was a huge amount of the work. I worked in Surrey mostly, and that was a huge amount of the calls that we went to. And I have a real heart for people that are in that situation. And then at the same time, on the other side, it is hurting the other 40,000 of us that are in the city, and we need to figure that out. So let's talk about homelessness, addiction, and mental health. This is the number 2 biggest issue from what I have found. The 2023 point in time count found that we have 166 unhoused neighbors here, and I will bet you that is going up. That's a 45% increase since 2021. That is a human crisis. It's a business crisis. It's a community crisis. There's groups like 100 More Homes that are coordinating partners. We should back them with predictable cleanup and response times for merchants and more peer support teams able to de-escalate and connect people to services. Guys, remember, I have worked frontline. Compassion and order can live together when the handoffs are right. And I know we're already doing that, which is great with the new initiative with RCMP and nurses together. And I think that's really, really great to have together, but it's not enough. It's not enough. This needs to change, and it needs to change really, really fast. And this is the vision that I have, and why I'm here on YouTube even talking about this kind of stuff, right? Like, guys, I'm very busy with my companies, and yet this is something that I just feel so passionate about, and I feel like Penticton can do better. All right, let's talk about housing affordability and availability. I think a lot of you guys came here because housing was so affordable, right? The city's 2024 housing needs report estimates that we need 1,831 more homes in 5 years and 6,296 in 20 years. That is the ball game that we are playing with. BC's short-term rental rules now limit most short-term rentals. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to do a whole video on short-term rentals. I'm sure that there are a lot of opinions about it. We happen to move up to Penticton because we owned a short-term rental that we could no longer use as a short-term rental. So I have got a lot of thoughts on it. I am not going to give away what my opinion is on it quite yet, but I think a lot of you guys have opinions on there. But again, BC short-term rental rules now limit most short-term rentals to your principal residence plus 1 suite in cities like ours. So it shifted a bunch of stock back to long-term rentals over time, which is really great. So here's a couple things that I would push. Gentle density, right? Density built right. So duplexes, triplexes, backyard suites, using pre-approved plan sets so that good projects do not die in paperwork. Now, here's something that I really love, and this is a permit SWAT team. This is somebody that clears compliant infills in 2 weeks. I like to call this the yes team, right? We can move faster. It is 2025. There is no reason. Guys, I just want to say, I applied for a permit last year, and the paperwork from when our guy told us that we were approved to when the paperwork actually showed up was over 2 weeks. In the world of AI, that is just absolutely unacceptable. We need to have a SWAT team that is there getting these things done fast, because every single week costs money. And I think that most people that are in government don't really understand that. Like, every single one of these holdups, when it takes 2 months to get a permit, guys, that is a joke. It should not take that long in a city like ours. And with the technology that we have right now, it should not take that long. One other thing is empty to active grants that cover dead space above shops into rentals, right? We have space. There's so much space that we can do. Now, for transparency, I have owned rentals and Airbnbs. I support reasonable hosted short-term stays, but we win long-term here by adding real homes fast and making the approvals fast and boring. That's it. So if we only did 5 things this year: create shoulder season anchors, launch the downtown WhatsApp, or we'll call it the radio network. If we helped people Zeroscape and Rain Garden and gave mini grants for that, if we added more loading bays and set bike route maintenance standards, and if we stood up a permit fast lane for gentle density, Penticton would feel meaningfully better within months. And I think that we can all feel that right now. So This week, I'm going to publish a public checklist with these quick wins. Pick one. Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if I missed your top issue, which I probably did, there's so many issues. As I dig into what's so amazing about Penticton, but then also what needs to change, there are so many issues. But here is the thing. There are so many incredible people in this town that want to make it better. And I love Penticton, and I know that we can make it better. Also, guys, please subscribe to this channel if you like it. If you like it, I'm going to be posting videos a lot. I have a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of vision for what Penticton could be, and I want to put those ideas out there for all of us to make this place better. Because at the end of the day, I want to live in the best city in the world, and I think that Penticton is and can continue to be that for all of us. Thanks so much, guys.